yeah, I just started recording the call. So,
All
man, did you get to watch that video on Tibber that I posted?
I did, and then I went to look to provide liquidity on Tibber, and I typed in Tibber, and there was so many different farms that I kind of got stuck right there because I couldn't find the right contract address.
I am in. You can get it right off of CoinGecko too. But
Okay.
I'm in the Wrapped ETH Tibber pool on Aerodrome. I don't like Aerodrome, the UI.
No, I hate it. Nah, that's why I use VFAT.
Yeah, I figured out that in order to get into the range that I want to get into, because on all of the other normal like dexes, when you go on Dex Screener, and I know you go above and below, you get in and you like to go a percentage above and below current price. But sometimes I'll throw on my chart and I'll have to get in more heavier one way. And I noticed that you have to invert the pair on Dex Screener. It's not just Tibber ETH. They have Wrapped ETH, then Tibber. So I have to revert the chart. And I just, it took me like an hour to realize that. I'm like, man, why am I putting my range in and saying I'm out of range? And they don't have the thing where you can just drag it and go to like, oh, let me go up 20%, like how you can on Orca.
Yep.
You can't just do that. So I'm like, man, I got to fix that.
Nah, VFAT's nice, but they limit you by the tick, so you can't always get exactly where you want. And sometimes, depending on how wide they have their tick size, sometimes you're quite a ways away from where you want your end to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let me see. So it's Ribita price.
Ribita by Virtuals is what it says.
Yeah, it says Tibber/ETH, and it's AI agents, Virtuals protocol. Liquidity 104.97K. Does that sound normal?
Let me see.
The other one was Tibber Virtual. That one had 2.62 million. That one sounds better to me.
Here, I'm going to.
Yeah, the volume's about 10% of the liquidity. No, take that back. 20% liquidity.
TVL 103K.
Yeah, that's the one that I was looking at. But then I found one with a TVL of 2.63 million.
Which pair?
That one's Tibber/Virtual. So
yeah, I don't want virtual exposure, particularly right now. So I'm in the ETH one.
Got it. So
good too.
Sorry, in the 104.93 one or the 153.04 one?
What do you mean? Which for what exactly?
There's two different pools, two different features, I guess.
Oh, I'm in the 0.25 feature with 103K.
That one's on. Oh, you're not on PancakeSwap, so no, that one's on Aerodrome. Yeah. Okay, I see it. So it's the 104.97. Got it. Yeah, I just readjusted my syrup wrapped Ethereum farm.
Syrup's been ripping.
Yeah, it jumped all the way up to almost like 65 cents. I was like, holy cow.
It's crazy. Something's in my eye. I cannot get it out.
Well, the volume's starting to pick up on that Tibber.
Dude, people in base are excited about it. We're about to. So when I was in South Portugal, I met the head of video at Defiant, and the person who does. It's not the head of video, but he's pretty high up for like doing video content for base. So we're about to start doing a show with both of them every week, like a DeFi on base and Defiant. This girl, her name is Vinny, and my nickname is Vinny. So we're going to do like Vinny and Vinny DeFi, where we break down protocols. Where I'm like partner with Defiant and do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was saying that to say, I was telling him about this project, and like people within base are pretty excited about it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, I watched your video on it. Having a singular identity is pretty cool.
yeah, it's
It,
like
if you don't want to be hiding. Everybody's like, prove it's me. Yeah.
if you want to be a ghost, if you want to be a ZKP, a walking ZKP.
I'm like, well, you don't need ZK anymore, so they're gonna know exactly who you are.
Yeah. What are your some of your favorite pools that you're in other than syrup ETH?
I've actually started to hit like pool dilution, where I'm getting diminishing returns. So I had to expand my repertoire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The pools that you were in, they weren't paying as well.
yeah, they started for the same ranges, same volumes. I started getting actually less of a return, even though I earned more of the liquidity for those ticks, which is counterintuitive, but that's what was happening. So I had to expand. So like my best one, let me see, that's not on Solana at the moment. I mean, even my Ethereum USDC farm on Uniswap is doing good on base. That was
doing really well too lately. That one's been printing.
Oh, I joined that one, so I jumped into that one with 12K, and I have a profit and loss of about 1,200, and I have an unclaimed fees of about 150. I've been there for 6 days, but I claimed rewards 2 days ago. So, but that one's doing about 148% APR.
For a few weeks, that thing was doing like 1 or 2% a day.
Yep. I went wider on that one because it's a meme token, and I've been in their poisonous Telegram, so I was like, there ain't no way this is going to stay stable. So I just I put a wide range on that guy.
Sure. What's some other ones that you liking right now?
Syrup is there. Is my third one. Pendle USDT has been printing. You probably would have a large tranche and a junior tranche. I only have the junior tranche. It's only $1.25 wide. So, but even at $1.25 wide, it's doing 112% APR.
$1.25 wide, meaning
yeah, so $3.26 to $4.49.
Okay, got you.
That's for my ranges on that one. I also have Pendle Ethereum on ETH on Uniswap, but it's not paying as well.
Yeah, the volume really slowed down on that one.
Yep.
Last I checked, and it was like it's getting like 29-30%. So I took some out and put it in the Tibber ETH pool.
Yeah, I have about 17K in that one. It's doing about 83% APR for me. So it's not bad, but it's not as good as I want it to be, but it's not bad.
Okay, so it can always be better.
I've been in this Bitcoin USDC on Ethereum for a long time, wrap Bitcoin, and it's not. I didn't have it on there to do a huge return, but it's doing about a 44% return for me, and I haven't had to rearrange that one. I'm just going with 102 to 111, even though 111.
Bitcoin USDC on mainnet.
Yeah, the 0.3% fee tier. I was toying back and forth whether to do the wrap Bitcoin, the Coinbase Bitcoin, or the threshold Bitcoin, but I just went with the largest market cap at the moment. That's still wrap Bitcoin. It's, even though Coinbase would like to lead you otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm still in Tau, and Tau is printing. There is something about the Tau subnet. If you staked your native Tau, then you got free airdrops and rewards over there by providing liquidity to the Tau subnets. And I haven't looked into that yet because I honestly don't know what wallet to use with native Tau.
I never got into Tau, honestly.
Oh, it's a good pair.
I think you were talking about it a few months ago, actually.
And I have a really wide range. Like I hadn't moved Tau for like 4 months, and it was still printing that entire time. And I just recently had to rearrange it. But and then the biggest letdown for me, which was printing very well, but it's not anymore, is BNB USDT over on PancakeSwap.
BNB USDT.
The volume is there, but yeah, the volume's there, but it's not. It's just not printing like it was, even though Binance and World Liberty. Yeah, it's about 35 million.
Yeah, that TVL is what I call a big old broad.
It's a short fatty.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was printing very well. It was printing over 1% a day for a while but it was when Binance and World Liberty 5 first launched their trading incentives, which is the reason why, if you look at all of the pools in DeFi, like the #1 volumes in the first 12 slots are all Binance meme tokens with some sort of ties to that competition they're running. I can't wait for that to be over so that liquidity can flow back where it belongs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Sonic's been kind of a letdown, although I did find a strategy to get about 22% on stables, which is not bad.
Are you in any or sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. What's up?
I was gonna say, did you ever get into any of the Unichain reward pools?
No, I honestly hate tracking incentives, but I saw that there's some over there, and like the Uni ETH pool is still printing pretty good. That's by volume wise anyway. But I mean, even John said that he moved over to away from that because it just wasn't paying out very well.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what their incentive pools are still looking like.
Are you just checking that on Merkle?
I'm gonna actually go on the website.
Okay.
They make it pretty easy. Let's see.
Yeah, they do have several on Merkle that are active. But he was just saying that even with that, just the volumes were nowhere near everywhere else, and he was a lot happier being on QuickSwap.
Yeah, if you factor in a regular yield plus the reward, it's nothing to write home about on any of them, really. The best one is a Bitcoin USDC, 20% APR, but then 16.3 on the rewards. That's about what you said you were getting earlier. So might as well get paid in Bitcoin and USDC and not have to track the incentives like you said.
Yeah, I'm looking on Merkle, and they have Uniswap V4, ETH to USDT, Unichain. Daily rewards, they have it listed as 30.87K. It's saying for a daily reward for $1,000 deposited is estimated to be 0.068 uni. I was like, wow, that sounds amazing. 0.068 uni. Wow.
Yeah.
might give me a coffee one day.
You shouldn't even advertise that.
I guess it's their truth and rewards token that they have to report now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, all right.
I wonder, like, with the Genius Act and all these banks that are going to start creating stable coins, like, is there going to be like a flood of stable coins into DeFi?
Oh, fuck. Every retailer is lining up to make their own stable coin. There's gonna be a Amazon stable coin and a Walmart stable coin, and everybody's gonna get in the stable coin business and buy up all the US debt.
Yeah.
And then the US is just gonna be paying companies to operate in the United States. Like, I mean, they already do. So now it's just gonna be a little more formalized.
It's crazy how this is happening, because stable coins is such an easy business model, but it's so profitable.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy. It's like everyone gets to be their own little bank.
I'm my own bank on Aave. Why do I need to create a stable token?
Well, if you're a bank, you have every incentive to, because of the fees you'll get to charge.
And just what you're talking about, swap fees?
Well, yeah, swap fees to actually acquire the stable coin, just like you have to buy and sell USDC on any exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Like even on Gemini, if you want to on ramp back into cash, you have to sell your USDC to USD that you can withdraw, and the fee is actually crazy. And then if that stable coin is used outside of that bank, which that is the part that's hard to predict.
Mm-hmm.
They can charge fees anytime it's being transacted with another smart contract. So anytime it's in a Uniswap pool, anytime it's getting sent or whatever.
I know, like on like they can just write that into the smart contract of that token, because
Exactly.
that's what they did for like Launchcoin as an example. Every time you buy or sell Launchcoin, is 2%.
Yeah. Yep. So it's going to be, everyone's going to want their stable coin used in DeFi because they know it's going to get swapped back and forth all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering how that's going to affect DeFi and what that will look like, because like I talked about this in a few videos, but back in the day when the dollar was like considered the greenback, banks were allowed to issue their own currencies, essentially create their own stable coins.
That's right. I mean,
And
same
then,
thing, but on paper.
exactly. But then the dollar became supreme because it's what became legal tender and it was required to pay your taxes. So whichever one of these stable coins you can use to pay your taxes is going to be the one that people accumulate through hell and high water. But I wonder if it's
Speaking of,
going to be multiple ones that you could. And yeah, it's just going to be a crazy thing to watch, honestly.
I think it's going to be a little bit like credit cards. Like, you can pay with MasterCard, you can pay with Visa. They won't take Amex because the fees are too high. And you could, Diners Club won't work, but
That makes
here.
sense.
So I think it's going to be like that. They'll have a select few that they will accept, and they're all going to do government kickbacks or something. So, did you see the promise that Trump made about reforming the tax laws? Like, got dropped from his bill
Which one? He's
for
had a lot of
his crypto promise of U.S. tokens would not be taxable.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about the big beautiful bill that just got
Well,
passed.
yeah, well, that was on that big beautiful bill, and then to get that final agreement, they had to drop the crypto provision from the big beautiful bill.
Yeah.
And now Cynthia Lummis is drafting a different one to follow that up. That's specific to crypto, but treating it more with traditional currency rails in it. So with no mention of tax advantages for U.S. crypto tokens.
Yeah, it's wild, but what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to slide that into like a clean energy or bill or something.
They do
and no taxes for crypto, so you can.
That'd be nice. Just give us a couple years. No taxes
Yeah.
for crypto for 4 years. That'd be great.
Yeah. The one thing I did like from Senator Lummis's proposed bill is that it had removing double taxation for miners and stakers. So you would only get taxed one time on your earnings, which is nice. That's the way it should be. You shouldn't have to tax me twice.
True. Yeah. Hey, Charisma.
Hey.
Hey, you look. I don't know if you're absorbing all the information or if you're just literally bored.
Oh, I'm working at the same time, so definitely not bored. I'm listening to you guys. For a moment there, I thought you guys didn't see me, so I thought that my invisible cloak was still on, and I forgot to take it off.
It seemed as if we were just kind of talking. I was waiting for a moment to squeeze in and say hi, but
Squeeze.
Well, on my screen, you're definitely right in the middle of us.
Right in the middle. Yeah.
You are squoze.
Yeah, he's right there.
Yeah, and your screen is actually even smaller, so it's like a sandwich that the layers get darker as it goes to the right side.
That sounds like ice cream sandwiches, except for it's not strawberry. It's just
yeah, it's a custom Neapolitan.
That's right. It's like an unmixed up gelato. Like I don't know what's going on. You got the white vanilla wafer, you got the chocolate vanilla wafer, and you got the Oreo cookie. So
it's like white hazelnut chocolate.
Looks like a well-made cappuccino.
Yeah, I've been getting pretty dark out here in the Spanish sun. But, yeah, no, it's anyway. What else was I want to ask you?
Yeah, I've been learning a lot with Meteora, making some good money.
Yeah, what pulls you in on there?
Oh, I just do the Sol USDC, but I run 5 or 6 different strategies at the same time. So like I have pre-established farms in one of the bin step pools, and then I move the funds when the price is going down. I move it into my accumulation pool, and then as soon as it goes all the way down and I'm converted fully into Solana, I take that Solana out and I go put it in my profit pool, which has a wider range on the way up, but has the same lower range bound. Just the upper range bound is about 4 times, about $4 instead of only $1. And then that way, every time it completely goes through the profit pool, I'm making about $2 profit per Solana upon entry. So it becomes very predictable, and it's just a Solana printer for me. And then when it goes out the top, and I have nothing but USDT, I know that Solana is about to do a market reversal, so I put it back into the accumulation pool, and within 4 to 5, maybe 10 hours at the most, the price of Solana falls and naturally and just goes right back through it, and I just repeat the process over and over again.
I have to see you do a video on that one.
Yeah, it works out really nice. The other day I did it with about 60K, and I was like, well, I just made 5K, so I'm gonna go to bed. See y'all later. So
today was a good day.
I was like, yeah, today I paid half my monthly bills. It's good.
Nice.
But yeah, we're doing that one, but I want to get deeper into the DLMM stuff with some of the higher volume tokens, and just do short scalping on the way up when it's going high volume, high speed.
I've never LP'd on Meteora. Do they have a UI that makes it particularly easy to do strategies like that, or are you just doing that?
Oh, it's super easy. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
I have a whole Meteora mini course actually. Screen number 1. I am presenting. Alrighty. So basically right here, you can come in and it's a little different. So you have all of, You have all the different farms that you can choose. So if you wanted to do, let's just say we're going to do some Solana as example. And then you get to choose a couple of things. One, you can choose your fee tier. And as you can see, there's a whole lot of different fee tiers you can choose from. And then they all have different 24-hour, and you can change this to like 12-hour, 4-hour, 1 hour, which one's performing the best. But this is just fees per TVL. And then the one thing that's unique that's hard to understand about Meteor is this idea about a bin step. And basically what it is the bin step tells you about how wide your range can be. It also tells you the relative difference between two neighboring bins. So for instance, if you have a bin step of a 1, we can take a look at the math over here. And let's just take a look. And it's easier when you see actual data, at least for me it is. But the price of this bin is 156.40 cents. The bin right next to it is 156.42 cents. So every time the price changes by 2 cents, it changes bins, right? It's kind of like Trader Joe's. And then whenever it moves from bin to bin, you not only get the normal trading fees, but you get tacked onto it something they call the dynamic trading fees, which is a bonus, and they're listed up here. So you can get your base fee of 0.01%. The protocol will take away from your earnings the 0.000515%, which is tiny. But then in addition to the 0.01%, when it moves from bin to bin, you actually get an extra 0.0103% for this particular bin step size. And one of the easiest things that I tell people about this one is if you get into a bin step of 1, then the range on Solana is going to be about $1, not quite, but about. So $1.5630 to $1.5736. So it's about $1 wide for this range. That's it. And the one thing that is a limitation on Meteor at the moment, which they're working to overcome, is that any position can only have 69 bins. So I don't know why they came up with that number, but that's how it's programmed at the moment.
So that price range that you just gave is that 60? That's not 69 bins.
From 156.30 to 157.36. So that's $1.06 divided by 2 pennies. This is a little bit shorter than 69 because when you set up your pool, you can always go shorter than 69, but you can't go longer than 69 without making 2 consecutive pools.
So just from like that $1 and some change, that's about 30 bins, yeah? Because it's like a 2-cent change per bin.
Well, it's $1.06 divided by 2 pennies, so that's 53 bins.
Wow. No wonder you have to be in so many damn pools.
Well, I mean,
and you're saying that you get a fee anytime it goes, like, let's say you're 56 bins here, and as it's going in and out of the different bins, you're getting a dynamic fee every time it switches to another bin.
Right.
And that makes it more worth it?
Yes. Okay. Because you normally, if you're trading within this one bin, you're just getting the trading fees. But if you get from this bin to that bin, you get the trading fees plus the dynamic fee.
And since you want to be in the price range that's probably $5 to $10, you have to get into all of these because you can only be in 69 bins. So that's why you're in 5 of them, is what you were saying.
But you can choose a different bin. Like I only use the 1 bin step if I'm trying to do like a single-sided conversion without paying a swap fee. I'll take, like, if I want $100 worth of Solana, I'll take $100 worth of USDC, put in here, let the price just quickly move through it, and I'm at 100% Solana. And then I go take the Solana out of this one, and I'll go put it into a pool with a much wider range.
Interesting.
Because right over here, if you come to the 4 bin step, this one right here goes from 153.93 to 156.10. And as you can tell, I was farming the heck out of it. I've already taken liquidity out, but I haven't processed my rewards yet. But every time you come
They let
into
you
this,
take out liquidity while leaving your rewards in. That's a
yep.
first.
And so they make it to where you can take your liquidity and quickly move it to different ranges as quick as you want to. So one of the main strategies they have right here, when you add your liquidity, you can shape it just like from Trader Joe's original technology. And then you can have it like on bid ask. Let's just say I was going to put in like USDC, and let me see, that one's a bad example because I'm in the wrong farm for that. Let's just say I had 1 Solana though. It's going to tell me it's not going to work because I don't have it. I hate that. Where is it? Let's go with this one right here. All right, so I can put this in here, and then I can come over here and I say, well, I want it to be bid ask. So while it's expensive, don't buy very much, but when it gets cheap, buy more. And then let's just say the price goes from 151.80, and let's just say it says it falls to like 147.50, so that it's outside this range. Well, then you can quickly withdraw just this, leaving your rewards, and at that moment you'll have 100% Solana, and you could add the liquidity back, and then it'll be sell it cheap a little bit, sell the most when it's most expensive. So you're flipping where your liquidity is, making additional profit without ever changing your range.
Mm.
So I'm really good at this, and they do this because you can do it super fast. You don't have to worry about claiming rewards or any of that type of stuff. You're just taking this chunk out. You're entering right back into the exact same pool, so it's not burning your farm NFT, right? And then you just turn around and you put the liquidity right back in a different position.
It's like they have their own built-in aperture kind of thing on there. You don't have to do like the calculations and stuff. It just works out for you.
If you want it to, you can do the calculations and shrink your ranges or expand your ranges. You can. One of the things that you can do is liquidity shaping. So you don't always have to have just a bid ask. You can have like a curve in the middle where you have like a chunk of liquidity in the middle, and then you could do a large bid ask on this side and a short one on this side. Or you can have a bid ask like this, and you're like, oh, I just found another $100 I want to put in here. Then you can choose spot, and it'll take that $100 and it'll evenly distribute it to every single bin, effectively just increasing the amount per bin that you have. Mm. And you can come over here and you can do all sorts of different patterns that you want to, depending on when you put it in. This is the current liquidity shape right now within this range that other people's liquidity is sitting in right now. And it's really cool because when you put in your liquidity, it tells you what percentage of that bin step that you own. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to master this out. I want to get 100%. Well, in order for me to get 100%, it's not going to be possible because other people are in there. But I can get 99% of that if I just take that. Like right there, there's 5,900 worth of USDC in there. So I just have to go much higher than 5,900 to get a bigger percentage.
And when you're running these 5 strategies all at once, do you look at them all as like one, or are you looking at them all as like separate? You're never in all 5 at once, right? Or sometimes.
No. Last night I had 12 pools running. So, but overall, at the end of the day, when I tally up my entire day, I just do it as one entry on my spreadsheet. Because
you look at it as one APR.
I do.
Average them all out.
Yeah, I do. And
what's the average for this strategy that you're running?
So my average for the strategy is about 1.4% per day.
Okay.
So, but it makes it really easy to come through this and claim it all at once. If I just hit claim all fees, it'll drain the rewards from all the positions at one time. So for my spreadsheet, all I have to do is say this for my rewards and this for my current balance. And it's summarized up here regardless of how many pools I have open. And I don't have any active liquidity right now in the 4 bin step, but if I had like multiple pools right here, another button pops up and it says withdraw all and claim fees. So you can actually take all your liquidity out at one time, regardless of how many positions you have open.
That's pretty handy.
Oh yeah. And then they have a lot of really, really great links over here. I don't even know how to use some of these things, but I've seen them use them and they are really good at using them. So, but
I'm gonna have to dive deeper into Meteora. I'm gonna look at that over the weekend.
yeah, it's really fun. And right now they're doing a activity points. So they're going to do an airdrop at some point in the future. They keep delaying it, so it may be years in the future, but but you know.
Yeah, we're still waiting on MetaMask to do an airdrop.
Yeah, I don't believe those guys. So, but if you can tell right here, since I've been in this pool, these are my fees that I've earned: $93,474. So,
Not too
but
shabby.
one of the there's a lot of extra things that come along with this. Like you can join the community, and they have community calls of, "Hey, this token's about to launch. I trust the team." So, like, you're like, "Who do I trust that's saying that?" is the question, because they're vouching for the team. But they everybody shares in the token launches. Like when LaunchCoin came out, there was all sorts of news in the community about it. So everybody within the Meteora community can jump in here and provide liquidity on LaunchCoin, and we all make money together.
And are you just joining those like through their Discord or something?
Yeah, it's on their Discord. They Meteora, if you wanted to, they actually have a boot camp that they run once a month. And it's over a weekend. It's about 2 hours per day, and they actually give you a task, and you can't say that you've completed the boot camp without actually completing the task. And the task is to make a 5% net profit over a 2-hour period or longer. And it's not 5% profit, it's 5% net profit. So you have to take into account your investment capital as well. So you can't like just jump in there and just lose your investment capital, out the bottom and claim a 5% profit, because you didn't really make a 5% profit because you lost your investment capital.
Right. Interesting.
So another thing that's interesting, so they've held the majority mind share on Solana for a long time. For this type of technology, but there is an up and comer right now called Saros, and they are doing an airdrop as well, active airdrop, for coming over here and providing liquidity as a competitor. And Saros is actually programmed by the Trader Joe team. So if you like the Trader Joe team, they're the pioneers of liquidity shaping. So you can come over here, and the liquidity is not as big yet on everything.
What
But it's
network are they? What networks are they on? Solana, I see.
yep, Solana.
Okay.
Their mission was to gain mind share from Meteora. So right now they only have about 25 million, almost 26 million of TVL running on their platform. So they have a long ways to go. But as you're, it's only launched like within the last month. So as you're earning rewards in here, right here, you're paid out in this Rady token, which is this little purple koala or cat or whatever that is. But that's their main incentive token that you earn on this. But if they continue and they keep growing, even if they never displace Meteora, but let's just say they get 4 times as big as they are today, which seems pretty reasonable to me. If you get the Saros token, they're feeding their platform rewards into the Saros token.
I'm looking at this Rady token now. It doesn't really give any data on it. Let me see if I can find the Saros token.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow, pretty big market cap.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty big FDV too. You know how those tokens are getting unlocked and distributed?
I do not. I did not. That's your area of expertise, sir. All I'm doing is following the trends.
I'll look into that.
And can I ask you a real quick question?
Sure.
That Tipper, where did you say you got into that LP at?
Aerodrome.
Aerodrome.
Yeah, there you go.
So I want to go take a look at Tibber over here and see what it looks like.
Thank you.
All right, that's not a very narrow. That's okay. What range do you have on it? Do you have it priced in Tibber or in WETH?
So I ended up figuring out after I got into the pool how to input my own numbers. It was like I told you, I had to invert it on Deck Screener.
Yeah.
So I just went 20% above and below, and then I clicked the plus sign 3 times. So I'm actually not sure for the first time in my life how wide my range is when getting in the pool.
Come on, the man with the plan who likes to write it in pen doesn't have a
Yeah.
plan.
I set my range that I wanted to get to on the chart, but I'm like, I have to invert it. So right now on that one it's Tibber ETH, but you have to invert it so that it's ETH Tibber, and then you have to, because they won't let you write it that way on Aerodrome, or else everything's all fucked up. So
right here, you can swip it between price and Tibber or price and WETH.
Oh yeah, on VFAT, yeah. I didn't use VFAT to get in there, but at the top right, if you click those 3 dots, you can also invert it on here.
Yep, got it. I do that all the time.
Yeah,
but I know why you said that. All right, so then we have the other ones at 27.77.
I can actually look on Revert.
You absolutely can.
I didn't know you can use Revert for Aerodrome also.
Yep, you can. You just have to know your sickle address.
And also, MetaMask launched Solana support. Like, about fucking time, guys. Jeez, it's only been fucking 4 years.
Yeah, I still don't like MetaMask, even with that.
I still use Phantom for MetaMask.
Yep. Well, I actually use Rabby for everything except for Solana, and then I use Phantom for Solana.
Yeah.
But I should import my keys from Rabby into Phantom and just use one wallet. Either that, or I heard Backpack's actually more advanced than Phantom. I don't know. But anyway, so this would be a 20% range up and bottom of the current price.
Yeah, my minimum is so 21. Actually, I can actually tell. I'm a mark it right now and then let you know how wide my range is. Here, give me 1 second.
Okay.
So my minimum is 21,579.
I'm going to simulate this over on metrics.
21,579. 21.
No damn.
So,
how wide's that range?
hold on, I'm getting the bottom for you here. 1 second. 21,579, and then the top is
wow.
34,182.
34,182. And what was the bottom one again? I'm sorry.
Here, 1 second. Let me just drop this here. 34,182.
21,579.
21,579.
Yeah, so it's about.
Oh, I must have to switch it.
That's about 55%, 50-ish.
21,579.
So that's actually not bad. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, and you said that the top was 30.
do know what my range is.
I do know. Oh, I see. All right, so 25 up and 25 down. According to Metrics Finance, they're estimating a 26% monthly range return.
You ain't gonna hear me complaining about that.
Nope. I'm gonna go put in a little bit of money.
Yep.
Correlation's not that good though, but maybe it's because it doesn't have a whole lot of data on it.
Yeah, it's not. It's not exactly. Yeah. But it's like I'm expecting this within the next year, at least a 10x for ETH within the next year, 3 to 5x. So if I'm projecting both of their price ranges out, if Tibber does better, then I'm just taking profits in ETH. hopefully Tibber does better sooner, so that way I can get a nice little profit there, and then take those profits into ETH, and then get a nice little 3 to 5x on ETH.
That would be nice. Very
Hopefully
nice.
for the first 3x, they both move exactly together, so I can stay right flat on the range, get that volume. That'd be perfect.
This is good because this is one of the things I like about this tool. So let's just say we're jumping in with $1,000. The return is estimated to be 26%. But I want to test the dilution. You put the dilution in, like if I put in 10,000, then you get 24.98. Put in 100,000, then it drops down to 17.6%. So, but as long as you only do 1,000, you're getting a 26% estimation return.
That's not half bad.
So put in 500. It's 500 and 1,000 is virtually the same.
Yep. Yeah, and I think Coinbase announced some like partnership with Aerodrome to where they're sharing market making like activities.
How did they look into that? So that's interesting. So the average daily rewards is 1.78K. The average daily fees is 1.14%. So basically, they're saying that they're incentivizing more than they're earning in fees at the moment. The project is adding additional funds over and above the average daily fees collected. So if the project stops adding additional incentives, then it'll drop by 25% or so, 30%.
They're adding with incentives within the Aerodrome pool, because I don't see any incentives that they're offering here.
Yeah, right here, weekly rewards on Aerodrome. They're putting in $11,738.
Oh, Aerodrome is?
In Aero. So that's the total amount that if you're providing liquidity, you get paid in Aero. So this is the total amount that you're going to get paid in Aero. Whatever active rewarded TVLs, it gets a share of that. And this value right here, according to the data, is higher than the total amount of fees that pool is generating. So that means that either Aerodrome is providing additional incentives or the project is adding additional incentives.
Man, they don't really spell that out on the Aerodrome UI. You got to go to VFAT to look at that, huh?
Yes, this is true. Or Dune. Dune will show it too.
Dune Analytics?
Yeah, the Dune dashboard.
Why the hell don't they show that on here?
Because then people wouldn't invest as much.
Wow.
And what was eye-opening to me, like this one is backwards. So this is telling me that as long as the team is providing extra incentives, you're actually getting a better deal coming in and doing that. But if it ever flips, then they start making money off of you, meaning they're going to collect more trading fees and not pay you all of them, which is what's happening on their main farm of the USDC wrapped Ethereum.
Interesting.
And you can actually like use something like Metrics Finance, and you can take your SQL address, which, if you're on VFAT, you have a SQL address. You can take that and put it right into Metrics Finance. It'll tell you the actual fees made by your position, and then you can compare that to what you're being paid in your Aero rewards to know if Aerodrome is taking money from you or giving you extra incentives. And I'll let you guess what happens 99.9% of the time.
The latter.
Yep. So like I looked at the actual fees that my wrapped Ethereum farms make here on Aerodrome. They literally only pay me 25% of the fees my capital makes them.
Wow.
But the volume is so high here that
it works.
Even with them robbing me of 75% of my fees, I'm still making more here than I am on an equivalent farm over on Uniswap for this pair.
Yeah, I hope the liquidity eventually flows to Uniswap. That'd be nice.
Does
So
this Aerodrome not connect to MetaMask or
It does.
Phantom?
Click browser wallet.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Mhm.
yeah, and
Told
I
you
like
it's a bit of a pickle over there.
yeah, I love using VFAT to enter and exit because you can enter any farm with any token you want that's in your wallet. Like you don't have to swap for anything. You can say, I want to get in with MFR if you want. It's right there. If you have MFR token and you want to open this up, it'll automatically swap it to the right percentages for you, and there's app feature, and it'll open the farm for you.
Oh wow! And what kind of fees are they charging you to do that?
They tell you when they do it. So let's see what token do I have in my wallet? I got a little bit of USDC. I'll put some in there. Let's say if I were to go in with 1,000, and let's just say I was going to go with that range. That's a 16% wide range. Their estimations are always off, but they're estimating 982% for that range. But then down here, the protocol fee is 0.09%. So they'd be charging 90 cents for that. And then you don't get any say on where you do your swaps. So you're paying Paraswap 0.25% maximum impact. And then I forget which DEX, Bebop, you're paying Bebop 0.04% to swap into that. So overall, you might lose 0.5%. Not quite 0.5%, but add all those up, 29, 30, 38% is what you'd be losing if you went this route. The one thing that I always like to do is I like to come over here to slippage and change it to like 0.1%, and then have it try to run with that. And then if it fails, then I will move the slippage up a little bit to like 0.25 or 0.35 to reduce my slippage upon entry. That sounds bad, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So,
just don't. I'm not gonna pull my pants all the way down to my ankles in the start. I'm gonna just roll my underwear down a bit and see what can fit in that way.
just the tip. Yeah. So I think you need to have one of those crypto songs about slippage. That would bring in some new ears. So.
Low key. Low key, yeah. On the next album, like one on that and one on like being secure.
Mm-hmm. And then you got to call out Bad Boy Records. So
it's crazy. That's a whole nother conversation over there. You just beat that charges.
So, but anyway, that's
Put my baby oil on.
Yes, I saw this realtor made a post and said, if Diddy can beat those charges, you can buy a house. And it was him doing like this. Like, that's so ridiculous. Oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start. Must have to start using VFAT.
I missed the joke. So I accidentally clicked off.
yeah,
No, I was saying it was a realtor who made a post. Diddy was doing like this, and it said, if Diddy can beat the charges, you can buy a house. And I'm like, that's so ridiculous. That makes no sense, but it's so funny.
Hey.
So Vince, if you're going to start using VFAT, I would highly suggest against using any of their automations. They're super expensive.
I do know that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Do you just like to use it to enter and exit pools, or enter mainly?
Well, I do enter, exit. I mean, if you enter here, you have to exit here. You can't pull your liquidity into the way because the money's in the VFAT SQL contract. It's not on the DEX itself. And then if you, I do use it to rebalance, but I don't do their suggested 50-50 rebalance. I always do it closer to like one tick away and to reduce the amount of swap fees that you pay.
Got it. So if you enter into their pool, it's they're taking custody over it. It's like you give them their funds, and then they own the NFT that represents the liquidity.
Yeah. So So Aerodrome gives them the NFT. They give you another NFT for your wallet, so you can claim it from the SQL contract, and the SQL contract can claim it from Aerodrome.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that.
So sorry, I'm giving you too much to look into.
No, that's good. This is good stuff. I'm gonna look into Meteora. I'm gonna look into this. I actually just made a video on my Aerodrome LP, but I'm gonna play with this and see if anything changes.
Yep.
Before I put that out.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna have to head off for this evening. I have another client waiting to talk to me. So
Nice, man. Well, no, it was good catching up.
absolutely.
Here, I'm gonna stop the recording. 1 second. Bye, guys. Have a good time.